Welcome back, everyone, to Who Would Win? The Who Would Win of the New Year. And this comes to us from Green B Drill, who asked the question, who would win the fight? Vilgax, Conqueror and Destroyer of Worlds in Ben 10, versus Zod, Conqueror and Destroyer of Worlds in DC. That's not quite Zod's moniker, but it's pretty much close enough to it. Zod is pretty much easy to deduce and figure out. He is a Kryptonian. He is pretty much the exact same in many ways to Superman. Now, he doesn't have some of Superman's hacks. That's due to who Superman is in his place in the multiverse. But in terms of all the stuff that Superman can do in his just general base form, physicality, speed, super breath, heat breath, supervision, all those kind of things, flight, yep, Zod can do that and then some. In fact, by all accounts, he's more dangerous than Superman due to the fact that he is a trained soldier, trained in physical combat. Superman is too, but Zod is trained, whereas Superman has trained and weapon combat. So yeah, he's a Superman more or less, just with out some of Superman's more disgusting outlier feats. And so we have to talk more in this category about Vilgax. Vilgax is species. I always forget to have Vilgax's species names up here because he does have a species name. Vilgax. Ben 10. One second. What's his species name? His species name is a World Conqueror. He is a Chimera Sua Generis, who serves as Ben's archenemy and most recurring villain throughout the ongoing franchise. Even before he got enhanced with steroids and all that ilk, which is what those giant tubes in his arm you see are. They basically are like, they will enhance his physique. He was strong enough to survive a nuclear explosion to the face. He is a master in hand-to-hand combat. He's highly durable, very powerful. But this was all the original series before he even got an amp. Before he even got his amp. Then he came back. His body was built. He could basically take on any one of the aliens from the Omnitrix without any real difficulty. The ones I think that gave him the most problems were Ghost Freak due to his intangibility, Forearms due to how strong he was. I think that, and honestly, Upgrade could have, Upgrade, if I remember correctly, could have easily just shut down his entire his life support system at the time. Regardless, though, this was all before getting amped up and going into Ultimate Alien, Alien Force, Omniverse, all of that. Vilgax possessed enhanced strength capable of easily defeating Ultimus and Manny and even Humongosaur with a single punch, the impact which created a large crater. He can break through Stinkfly's glue and could shatter an entire mountain with a punch. He possesses immense durability. He's able to easily make Diamond Head shatter his own fists. He's fireproof, can withstand Swamp Fire's fire blast. He even survived Ultimate Swamp Fire's Azure Fire. Didn't seem to do any visible damage to him. He possesses reflexes capable as he one-stop accelerate at full speed, who moves at like 700 miles an hour. He has conditioned himself to survive in the harsh conditions of space without protective gear for brief moments. By alien force, he can seemingly travel through space without any visible equipment. He can fly at high speeds, can jump several times his own height, fire red laser beams from his eyes, capable of drastically, which can also arc to assist his pursuit of the targets, a la Darkseid. The lasers are incredibly fast. They're able to catch up to Helen, and can also burn Ectronites, who are very who get burned by sunlight. Strong enough to cut through Swamp Fire's vines. He can hear sounds that are too faint for normal ears to detect. He can breathe gusts of wind so powerful they're like cyclones. He can turn into a giant octopus-like monster, which is referred to as his true form. In the ocean, he is able to in the ocean. He has this ability since the beginning. He can only transform at will. He can speak through his DNA, and is shown when he talks to Upgrade when he has merged with Rojo. For most of the original series, Ben was unable to defeat him alone. After he became the conqueror of 10 worlds, battling and defeating the champions of each, he drained their powers and added to his own. One of those warriors was Ultimus himself, who was kind of a Martian Manhunter or Superman-like character. When he lost his power stolen from him, he was still left with his monster physical strength and red energy blasts from his hands and eyes. He's immune to quills. I guess quills I haven't watched Ben 10 in a while. He also has multiple weaponry on him, including the ability to use the Ruby Ray of Relu as a laser projector, and is able to be considerably weakened. Sorry, was able to considerably weaken Ultimos in one shot. According to Vilgax, Ultimos' ability to survive the shot was unusual, suggesting it's usually an immediate kill. He has the Shield of Seagull, Steven Seagal. No, the Shield of Seagull. Generate a powerful force field. The force field can become a knight-like shield on his arm or a dome sphere to protect his whole body. It is able to defend against the punches of Ultimos, jet rays, neuroshocks, or the guns of a spaceship. It can even let Vilgax cut clean through the spaceship at the same time. He uses a gauntlet as a taser, allowing him to grab and shock Big Chill while intangible. It also gave him the ability to coat his hands in light energy and use them for boxing gloves. His sword can project energy beams or coat itself in flames, or crystals able to reflect Chromastone's ultraviolet beams. Even without flames or crystals, the sword is still incredibly sharp, easily able to cut through stone, Chromastone, even entire spaceships with a single stroke. He kept a railgun in a holster on his right hip. Vilgax lost all his equipment, excluding his sword, when he was arrested in The Ultimate Enemy Part 2. And after fusing with Malware's remains, he gained access to Malware's abilities to absorb technology. Access to all technology Malware absorbed. His already mighty physical strength was increased where he could punch anything off of Galvin Prime and Galvin B with no difficulty, including atomics, one of Ben's strongest forms, and is a living nuclear reactor. However, Vilgax is also weak to cold virus. If his true form becomes too weak, he cannot change back into his humanoid form. He also needs water to be in this form. Despite his durability, he is limited to how much damage he can take. He's vulnerable to electricity, such as generated by shock squatch. I'm not going to even try to pronounce that. He is vulnerable to black holes, such as the generated by celestial sapiens. He cannot be a celestial sapien straight in a fight, which can pretty much do whatever the hell they want. Despite being resistant to heat and fire, he is harmed by the evolved swamp fires attacks. He can be incapacitated if he is immersed in asphalt, which is stupid. He can be blasted by the sonic sneeze of a Sonosaurian. Furthermore, if a Sonosaurian has a cold virus, Vilgax will be affected as well. Who is that now? His large size makes it difficult to fit in small entrances, and he is terrified of Ma Vidril. Okay. Echo. That's who it is. Echo. But, so yeah, Vilgax is insanely powerful. And I'm not going to go so far as to say he would get clapped by Zod. I do not think he would get clapped by Zod. Zod, he is strong enough, and he's gone toe-to-toe with strong enough individuals where even Zod, a Superman-esque character, would still probably have trouble with him. That he has considerable enough strength and weaponry on call at all times, and abilities that they would be clashing for a little while. Vilgax has survived a nuclear blast dropped upon him, survived the vacuum of space travel, gone up against other super strong individuals similar to a Zod. Maybe not as strong as Zod, but similar to Zod. So, and they have both lived quite a while and conquered multiple worlds for many a time. So they would both be probably clashing at an even pace for a while until one decides to get serious and then the other decides to get serious. Vilgax throws probably everything he can at Zod. But the problem ultimately becomes that he just doesn't really have anything to put Zod down, save for maybe his sword. Even then, how sharp that sword really is up for debate. It could be as sharp as one woman's sword, which can cut through an atom, or it could be as not as sharp. Point being, is it sharp enough to cut Zod? Even if it is, it's probably not sharp enough to really get that deep into him. Zod, in the meanwhile, is constantly going to be able to be fed by a yellow star. He is a trained soldier through and through, so if he's not stronger than Vilgax in terms of his hand-to-hand skills, he is at very least on even ground with him. But he also has all the abilities that a Kryptonian who is fed by yellow sunlight radiation would have, including his own heat vision, his own super breath, The ability to see through multiple spectrums of light, X-ray vision, capable of moving at such speeds where it becomes ridiculous, durable enough to survive multiple nukes, because Superman can do that, and if Superman can do that, Zod can do that. That's not entirely true. Superman is ultimately stronger than Zod because Superman is Superman, and I don't like Superman that much. Whatever, I'm not going into that debate again, or not that spiel again. But Superman is ultimately stronger than Zod, but that's due for other reasons. Still, Kryptonians can survive like nukes to the face without too much difficulty. It takes very powerful individuals to put Kryptonians down when they're at their peak. While Vilgax is a powerful individual, and even if we say the fight goes into the ocean where he goes into his Kraken Dagon form and just tries to just crush Zod, Zod is strong enough to honestly destroy the Earth if he really wanted to without really too much difficulty. Likewise, Vilgax is, or not likewise, but otherwise either. Vilgax, however, is powerful and hypothetically can destroy the Earth, but his ability to just straight out destroy a planet with his own power is a bit more speculative than Zod's. Zod's is a lot more definitive versus Vilgax's. These two would be duking it out for a while, though. Ultimately, I do think it would just be Zod who would take the win. Eventually, he would just get tired and probably just either punch his arm right through Vilgax if he ultimately wanted to, or tear his head off, or laser his face off, or whatever. He'd pretty much just go for a kill after he gets tired of this. The only thing Vilgax maybe has, if we were to give him all those weapons back, would be the shield, which could just slice through his ship because it's energy. In theory, could he catch Zod off guard? Yes, he could, but that's a very, not 1 in a million, but it's like a 1 in 100 chance, 1 in 1,000 chance. And even then, there's no guarantee that would straight out kill Zod. Nor is there any guarantee that Zod couldn't break the energy shield, because we've seen Superman and other Kryptonians and individuals of similar strength do similar feats. So ultimately, I'd probably have to go with Zod on this fight. Zod is just the more, his tier of power just is several grades above Vilgax, ultimately. This is just my opinion, though. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Until then, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.